My name is Tara Koger. I am an enterprise solution architect for Nextiva. I'd like to introduce Mike DeLaca. He is the local channel manager here in South Florida. My job with Nextiva is to come out and educate you guys on what we're doing, where we're at, and where we're going. So that's what I want to do today. I'm just going to give you guys a little tease. We announced at Channel Partners this year we will be giving away a new car. So I used to have this at the end and we missed it. So now I want to show that. That should be in our next partner newsletter. TCG can get you the information as well. Anybody can qualify for this if you sell a 500 monthly reoccurring revenue deal with Nextiva and up. You get entries into the car we're giving away at the end of the year. So that's fun. I want to make sure I hit on that for you guys today. All right, let's talk about the foundation of Nextiva. Nextiva was built on amazing service. We started in 2006. We took 2 years to build our infrastructure before we even put our first customer on in 2008. Everything we live, breathe, talk about at Nextiva is amazing service. And what does amazing mean to Nextiva? It does not mean that we're perfect. It means we go above and beyond to accomplish astonishment and wonder to all of our clients, our partners, everyone that we interact with every day. 100% of our Nextiva employees are, 100% of Nextiva is Nextiva employees, right? Right. All right. Thanks, Carl. All right. We're not out there partying anything. So I'm just kind of going to flip through this and give you guys a little history of Nextiva just in case you're not up to date on that. And then we're going to get into that fun stuff. Again, founded in 2006. We are up to almost 2,000 employees. Nextiva is an exciting time to be at Nextiva. We are growing. So many great things are happening here. I mentioned the infrastructure. You guys look at these things all the time, so I'm just going to quickly show you. All right, so let's talk about the fun stuff of Nextiva. What are we doing? What's going on over at Nextiva? What's the buzz? More and more people are telling me they're hearing Nextiva out in the industry. We have UCaaS, yes. Everyone has UCaaS on every corner, right? But let's talk about contact center. We have 3 contact center offerings. We have a small call center, voice only call center that has a little CRM built into it for somebody that's just getting started. We also have a small to mid-size Unity contact center that we have been selling for many, many years. This does have omni-channel with voice, web, email, SMS. It's good for a client that's just got probably less than 25 contact center agents. It's a very stable product that we have been selling for many, many years. Nextiva was born as an SMB company. We will always be SMB. It is the heart of Nextiva is to be SMB. But when you do good things, guess what? Bigger customers want to do business with you. So a couple years ago, we had to go out. We had to start talking to some larger enterprise contact center suppliers and figure out how are we going to move up market. We went out, we interviewed a lot of contact center companies, and we did find that we fit very, very well with Five9. That has been the buzz probably almost a year now, but we've been doing it for a little bit over a year and a half now when we started our partnership with Five9. So I want to explain how this works, and that a lot of people ask. When we bring in Five9, typically it's because we need workforce management, workforce optimization, or outbound dialers. Or the client wants to work with an enterprise-size contact center. They're already out exploring Five9s and some of their competitors, right? So we bring them to the table. Once the deal closes with Nextiva and Five9, it is all written on one paper, which is we're not just partnered with them. We are strategically partnered as a reseller that we write it all on one paper. Nextiva, then, it's all Nextiva paper, let me clarify that. Nextiva project manages it, implements it, and supports it. So one throat to choke. We are integrated with Five9. We do have the capability for our UCaaS and CCaaS to be able to see presence and talk to each other, all of that fun stuff. So we do have that type of integration with Five9. This is a very strong partnership. A lot of people ask me if they've sold Five9 and they want to come work with Nextiva and Five9 together as partners. Everybody's always wanting to know about the money, right? Nextiva pays the same as what Five9 would pay. We actually pay additional spiffs if you put us together. as well as we run promos for the customers if you put us together. So very, very strong, exciting partnership. If you are working with 5.9 reps today, they love when you say, I want to work with Nextiva. Because all they have to do is write a quote and give it to Nextiva. Nextiva takes care of terms and conditions and paperwork. So any salesperson will be very, very happy to say, take all my bookwork, right? So it's been a very, very strong partnership with them. We have been traveling around together for the last few months, and very, very, very exciting. What else can I talk about with the 5.9 partnership? I think I've hit on most of that. Another area that we found was really strong with the 5.9 partnership is when we talk about, thank you for talking about so much AI in that last conversation, because that is what I love to talk about. We have been doing IVA for over 7 years. The company that we've been selling for over 7 years was purchased by 5.9 2 years ago. So we sell the same IVA product. And I'm going to get further into that in just a few minutes, but I just want to kind of let you see why some of the motion worked really well with that 5.9 partnership. All right. Also at Nextiva, what we've done as we've moved up market is we have really focused on enterprise. When I talk enterprise at Nextiva, that's any deal that's 2,500 monthly recurring revenue, anything that has contact center, or anything that has professional services. So it's more of a mid-market, although we're calling it enterprise. Okay? What we did is we took the last 2 years to really build our enterprise success team. We have enterprise solution architects, such as myself, that come in early into your deal. They really start to understand what the customer's looking for, start having conversations about what they're looking for, if we need to bring in Unity or if we need to bring in 5.9. Those enterprise solution architects stay on your deal from day one, all the way through implementation, all the way to customer success. So they don't leave when the contract is signed. They stay through the whole process. What we also did is we put in enterprise customer success. So instead of having a one-on-one ratio between the customer and the customer success team, each customer has a 3 to 4 dedicated support team. And this customer success pod comes in prior to implementation. So I want to some people get confused on what I'm trying to explain here. Think about it, and I've been in the industry for over 20 years. Think about it this way. A lot of customers are siloed. They go sales, implementation, support. They have to repeat what has been done with their account 3 times, and they get frustrated. And they come back to you guys like, why do these people not know what I'm doing, right? So what we've changed at Nextiva is what I call crisscross applesauce. The enterprise solution architects stay on through the implementation to success, and success comes on prior to implementation. So now we're doing that crossover. It gives your customers a much better experience. What I want to hit on, I mentioned amazing service. That's Nextiva's huge differentiators, our service, sales, and support. And how can I rate that? First, we have a 94% customer satisfaction rating out on Gartner Peer Insights. Secondly, we have a churn rate of under 1%. The industry strives for 3 to 4%. Nextiva is at 0.8% of churn rate. And that is because of our service and support. All right, so let's talk about changing the conversation. This is the fun stuff. I got through all the Nextiva stuff. Let's get to fun stuff. All right, let's talk about how we change our conversations. Guys, if you're coming in and you're asking a client, how many phones do you have? What's your overhead paging? What's your PRI? How many PRIs do you have? You might as well walk out the door. You're not doing anything different than your competitors. What we strive at Nextiva is to start changing conversations. When COVID hit, everybody brought in 5 to 25 new applications, right? They're trying to understand, how do we get these in order? So really the questions to start asking your customer is, how are you collaborating today internally and externally? What is your customer's journey? Are they coming in emails, SMS, voice, chat? How are they coming into you? What's their experience? Once they hit that first line of getting into your organization, how does it happen from there, right? How are you talking internally? Are you guys chatting to each other? Are you yelling down the hall if you're back in the office? Believe it or not, people still are, right? So understanding how they're collaborating. Secondly, what do you need to integrate with? What have you added? Teams, Salesforce, Slack, everything. Everyone's talking different ways. So understand what you need to integrate with. What are they doing? Then the third part of this and the fun part, and we just heard a whole bunch about it, is what's your automation roadmap? This is where Nextiva is very, very strong, is in our IVA. So a customer's typically going to look at you like you have a third eyeball, or they're going to say, tell me more, or they're going to say, my customer's never going to deal with automation, right? I get that all the time. If I had a nickel for every person 10 years ago that told me they'd never have an employee work from home, I'd have bought Twitter a couple weeks ago. I'm telling you right now, if you have customers that tell you their customers will never do automation, take a nickel. 10 years from now, I'm telling you, it's coming. This is where we're headed, and you guys all know this. You guys are seeing it. You can't turn on a TV without hearing AI, digital transformation, conversational AI, IVAs. But people don't exactly know what the power of it is and how to use it, right? I would say the most popular right now is credit card processing, but it's so much more powerful than that. We just heard the last group talk about different scenarios. Using it for order taking, order processing, zip code router. I mean, it's above and beyond what you could ever imagine. So it is an inbound and outbound system that can be integrated with CRM. Is conversational AI. The offering that we do here at Nextiva has 131 languages, all dialects. That's a wow. What I also want to mention about our virtual agents is that we can do this standalone. And what I mean by doing this standalone is most companies sell this with just contact center. I can sell this without contact center. It is the same product that Five9 owns and sells. They will not even sell it without contact center. So I can take somebody that doesn't have a contact center and get them into automation. Even if it's not a Nextiva system, even if it's not a Five9 system, I can do this completely standalone. So that's a huge differentiator with Nextiva. How am I on time? When you use our virtual agents, it does come with 62 pre-built scripts. We sell this in what we call a waiter, which is it handles one call at a time. So think of it either as one call path or one port. It is sold at $300 a month. Take that, divide that by 24/7, you're looking at $3 an hour. You guys tell me where you can hire an employee for $3 an hour, right? But they get all 62 scripts, as well as the ability to custom design their own. This is a gift that keeps on giving. If you get an admin in here that gets all 62 scripts but is just using it for credit card processing, and they start seeing the power of what they can do, they're calling you for more. It is the most expensive SKU on our price list, but it has the best ROI. At $300 a month list price, the most expensive SKU, but the ROI, dividing that 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at $3 an hour, I mean, the ROI is there. Am I on time? Okay, so I'm just going to tell a quick story here. I am a huge storyteller, but with 20 minutes, I'm not going to give you a million stories. But I recently had to call my bank. I needed to make a rather large purchase. I want to kind of throw some ideas with you guys because it's always helpful. Is where can you place it? How can you use the power of this, right? I had to call my bank. I needed to make a large purchase. I needed to know what the spend was on my debit card. I held for 1 hour. It was very important that I make a large purchase that day. 1 hour, the rep answered the phone, did not ask me why I was calling, asked me all of the security questions, and said, what do you need to know? I need to know what my spend is. They said it's $5,000. I said, well, I need to spend $9,000 today. Can you up me for today? Can you please hold? I need to transfer you to a manager. 15 minutes I held for the manager, who asked me the exact same questions again and pressed a button. An hour and a half of my day was wasted waiting just to up my daily spend limit. 2 weeks later, my bank was in the news that they are having problems hiring people, and they're upping their minimum wage to $20 an hour. They could be using automation. Talk to your customers. Ask them if they're having problems hiring people. Ask them, what are 5 redundant activities that your employees are doing today that are making them less productive for your business? People want more money, then they need to be doing the higher skilled jobs. Let automation do those lower hanging items within their organization, right? It's really where we need to start having those different conversations. All right, he said I have 5 minutes. There's so much more I want to tell you, but I want to make sure and see if anyone has any questions.
I got a question.
Yes.
In the sense of that, for the outbound calling for this, I deal with dealerships, and I've been setting up call centers within the dealerships right now because things are booming with them. One of the softwares they're using, they're having issues with spam now. Is one of the issues that's come about in the past couple of days, where customers are calling back and say, "Hey, I'm not picking up your calls because it's coming up as spam." You know, I know T-Mobile, Verizon, most of them, because I've checked the white pages, the white listings for them, and see the numbers are listed or not listed. How is that overcoming that issue?
Okay, so I know what you're talking about when it comes in and it says spam because major dial and it's using the dialers and things like that.
Donna does it, Click does it. You know, they're coming up as spam. Their IDs are coming up as spam.
Okay.
On the phone side of it, like say IP phone and some of the other services, they're not being spam because I make sure they're
Yeah.
listed. But on these type of softwares that are utilizing, they're coming up as spam.
I'm going to be honest with you. I've dealt with this for many, many years in different scenarios. The problem is, like, someone can call my work phone and it'll come up spam, but they'll call my cell phone and it'll come up their number.
Right.
So a lot of it's the carriers, because when the caller ID, we can send the caller ID out, right? But as it hops and skips from different carriers, they can put their own spin on it. But it's definitely something we can look at and see if we can set that up for you. It's been a problem for many. I mean, I remember having that conversation in 2009.
Yeah, the dealership I'm working with right now, going on a second, is that they have 10 people they just hired on to make calls. They're averaging 100 calls per person.
Yeah.
Okay. And
Yeah.
it's a problem.
So in case anybody couldn't hear him, he was asking about outbound caller ID. Sometimes he's dealing with an auto dealership and the number's being sent out, but then it's being received as spam, so people aren't answering the calls. And a lot of that is the carrier sometimes hops and skips on different carrier networks, but as long as we make sure we're passing out the right thing, that's usually the most control we have over it, unfortunately.
There's also a site on each carrier's website where you can plug in your numbers.
Yeah.
We typically will send customers there as a starting point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing, with them. It's just time.
You don't know what carrier they're out there.
Yeah. And
All
that's
right.
the biggest
Yes,
problem.
sir.
You don't know.
What's your minimum on this virtual agent?
1. What's the minimum on virtual agent? 1. Okay.
Where is there a break point? Is there any break point?
No.
I mean, it's priced right.
Yeah. I will be honest with you, it's list priced at $300. I've had partners telling me they're selling it at $450.
Awesome.
Okay? It's that powerful. This is a big strength and something we've been doing for almost 7 years now. We're not new to this. We actually trained Five9 on how to do this. All right, well, Mike and I are here to talk to all of you. I have a ton of stories and examples I can give you. I just wanted to give you guys the high level. Look forward to talking and meeting with all of you, and enjoy your lunch.